Greetings and salutations. This is Rick Copple coming at you from Denver, Colorado with another episode of Not a Land Screwy Guy. Today I've got hopefully a treat for you that you like, and that I'm doing something a little bit different, in that I wanted a Qtile version of Manjaro to mess with. I installed i3 and Sway last time I did that one, and I wasn't really ready to finish Window Manager yet because I always wanted to go back to Qtile for some reason. The last time I messed with Qtile, I had issues with it or something. I don't remember what all I had issues or problems. Some doing work or someone clicking in the brain or some odd thing. But this time it worked perfectly. How did I do it? Well, basically installed Arco Linux on my laptop out there, my testing laptop, and tested it out, and it worked pretty good on it. And so I thought, well, I really like it on my writing computer here. I guess I'll install Arco Linux on that one. Of course, I had some issues with Arco Linux installation then on the computer. And so I wanted to install this over here and have i3 on. Like i3, as I mentioned last time. So the only quibble I had with i3 was that it didn't have a default monad tall master stack layout feature on it. It divided it vertically or divided it horizontally, or you can switch in the middle by pressing meta H or meta V on it, and which way you wanted to go with it. Anyway, what an automatic dynamic tiling is, kind of like a partially dynamic tiling in that regard. I just wanted to have a bunch of narrow bands going either way, you know. Which wasn't my cup of tea. Or if you do tabbed, and I don't know tabbed. Some people like that. I don't care for it that much. So I decided I was going to install it on this machine right here, but then I thought, well, I don't really want to install Arco Linux on here. I mean, I've already got a good Arch-based system on here with Manjaro. What am I going to do? Tell you what I did. I installed Qtile on Manjaro. Let's get right to the screen so you can see what all I did. Alright, here we are on my Qtile desktop. Looks a lot like i3, only because it has the same background that I used for i3. Since I use nitrogen on both desktop environments or window managers, same background. Yeah, so let's look at what we got on here. We got window manager. It's got the master stack layout, that thing going on there. You have, however, just to show you, it is indeed, I can type, Manjaro that this is on, 5.10 kernel, Manjaro. Standard one is installed, same one installed on the i3 window manager on Manjaro. Same kernel. Okay, we got that cooking there, 595 megabytes. So that's just OBS running in the background. Yeah, that's pretty good, when especially considering you got other programs running. That's cool. Now, I've installed Ropi on this one too. So you got your file manager PCM, which is a decent file manager. So we've got that. We've got Firefox installed on here. Which works pretty good out of the box, I think. There you go. Just took a while. This isn't the fastest computer in the world I got on here. It's not, it doesn't have a real lot of processor power. Maybe there's Firefox. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I got Qtile on this machine. Since it isn't the community editions or the or the official editions of Manjaro. How did I get it on here? Well, pretty simple actually. It's sort of simple in a way. I went to my terminal. What I need to do is install sudo pacman s Qtile. I'm not going to hit enter here because I've already got it installed on their system, so I need to redo it, but obviously. Anyway, I hit that and I was able to bring up install Qtile on it that way. And I logged out and changed it over to Qtile, logged in, and then when I found out I needed another program because none of my key bindings worked, I was wondering why. And that's because you go to the you go to the you go to the configuration directory. You'll see in here you got your config, UI, it's your main config file. You also have several other options. You have some script files. You have this strange letter salad SXHKD. Sure, it stands for something. I don't know what, but it stands for something, I'm sure. Anyway, that's a directory there. It's got its own configuration file. Anyway, that's a program that needs to be installed on here too, so I had to install it as well. Sudo pacman s SXHKD. Enter. Boom. Installs it. Once you have that installed, what it says it's an actual, it's a program that allows you to substitute in your scripts for key bindings. So if you go to that directory, there's your configuration file for that key bindings directory. Apparently I did it because it's a little easier to work with this than it is with the key binding set up in Python that they have in Qtile's configuration files. I thought this might be easier for some people. I got some Arco Linux actually. Now then into this SXHAERC. And there you have your configuration file for that function. It groups them according to function key, super this, super this, super that. And it's just spelled out super plus in the key. And then now you put the program that's going to run. It runs it pretty much. So like super F3 is supposed to run escape apparently. Well, I found the function key ones don't work so well, but ones that do are down here. There's my Rofi and set up there. Super D Rofi. And you have super plus other keys, Atom, Firefox. So anyway, it's got all these things. You uncomment them if you want to use them. If you don't, you comment them out. Now all the navigation keys are still in the configuration file for Qtiles config.py. So, but it runs this to replace them. There's all your different scripts you have available. PyCom config, PyCom toggle.sh. You can turn on your PyCom on and off. That's your compositor. Screen resolution VirtualBox set system overview kind of gives you an overview of the system. You have it set and you're up there. Now we're going to go look at the autostart real quick. Yeah, I can type again. So anyway, you have your autostart down here, and I'll show you where and then here's where here's where I commented out. If I wanted to run Cocky on there, it pulls a system overview of the Cocky scripts. So you can see there. So I commented that out because I didn't want all that showing on there. Really, don't need it. So yeah, now you got your run volume icon. You start on here. I actually need to add some of this since I just installed the run. It's a little hard to put it on there. Run pulse audio start. That'll make sure it runs every time I boot it up in this, so it'll have pulse audio running. And we'll save that real quick, don't forget. And yeah, anywhere in Discord, there's Nitrogen, which is a wallpaper manager, pretty much, that I like to use. I'm not sure why you'd want to run Thunder or Firefox when you boot up, but maybe you do. It runs in the background apparently. I guess for quicker activation, so if you hit the key bindings, it pops up automatically. Don't have to do it that much. Anyway, there's where you put that stuff. Now this is a script I have to toggle touchpad. I don't need it in here actually. I can take this out. Because that was basically for touchpad on a laptop, and this is a desktop, so I don't have a touchpad. So I can take that one out. Save a teeny bit of memory space there. Yeah, you just uncomment what you want to run. Like if I wanted to run Adam in the background, and I can take that comment out there and run it. Now, you probably won't see a lot of that happen until you get up into the. Well, yeah, I did modify both, didn't I? So that's that. Then yeah, so you got that, and let's take a peek at the config file for Qtile. Okay, so licensing stuff. It's not really licensing. It's saying that you can take this, do whatever you want with, even though some people have copyrighted it. Apparently, they retain the copyrights to it, but you still have permission to modify without limitation. Copy, modify, merge, publish, distribute, sublicense, and/or sell copies of software, and to permit persons to whom the software is furnished to do so. Those are the following conditions. Blah blah. All that kind of stuff. Here's where you import your different libraries in. Your mod key set is super key. Yeah, it tells you what each of the things happens is. And this is key bindings. This is mostly where it says most of our key bindings are in the SXHKD file, except these. And list them out. So you see you see mod shift R restarts your computer, your Qtile incident, and talks about your layouts, movements you can do, how you resize your thing, your all keybindings resize, flip layouts, flip layouts for different ones of the window manager layouts it uses. And you have your, this is where you do your groups. This is what goes up on your bar up there. So I see I uncommented out this. I like numbers for some reason. I don't like all these little graphics stuck up there because it just doesn't fit my boat. I mean, I don't really remember what they are, that kind of thing anyway, so. Yeah, so I like the regular numbers. That means something to me, a number. What number workspace I'm on. And they have for labels, that's labels, group names. So for group layouts, this is like if you wanted to have different like Monad Tall and BSP and Matrix, all the different ones it has on here. I'll show you that here real quick. First, let's put up at least 3 windows. Now you'll notice up here it's got the Monad Tall, which is the standard one I have it set for all the workspaces here. I can change it by going like that. Suddenly it's Monad Wide. So yeah, if you had another one in, it would divide it horizontally that way instead of vertically like the other way. Now this one changes it to matrix, which apparently will keep adding them in that kind of format. This is BSP, which has got all these different ones. Now you can also change by pushing down your modifier key and your arrow keys like that. And this is your floating one. You can't really tell the difference. It just leaves them where they're at. But at this point, you could put another one on here. You just float in the middle and float over each other. See, it didn't rearrange any when I removed that one. It just put them all there. Didn't even move it. Can't be in focus with an old thing. It is mouse and floating apparently. Yeah, it's floating beeswax here. This is ratio tile, which I assume means is just does this number. Interesting, huh? You might like that better if you want to quarter up your whole thing. Interesting. And this is max layout, which means everything's maximized. And then you head back to Monad Tall again. So that's all the different ones you got there, and you can specify the group layouts. You can specify your layouts to be all different ones based on which workspace you go to. Automatically default to that. So you remove that there, that hashtag for that, but I chose just have them all be monad tall. And I can usually switch between them if I don't needed to for some reason. Then I have the where it basically goes through the groups, lays them out, labels, does name, all that kind of stuff. Then it changes workspace, gives modifications, change workspaces. But yeah, it moves. Yeah, this is the keys to change your workspace. So like you move your windows, select workspaces 1 through 10. And it's mod shift. Hold down mod, your mod key, your shift key at the same time, and hit the 1 through 10, 1 through 0. Yeah. And it will move your workspace that thing. So if I want to move this, say 9 here, watch up there at the top. Suddenly it followed all the way to 9. We go back to where we were, which is workspace 2. Not there anymore. You see 9's red, which is the color coding I did. I had to set the colors on these, make what I want them to be. I'll show you that here in a minute. Yeah, so that moves it over. And that's various layouts you have there. We went through just a while ago. Here's the color for the bar. This is what I've modified here. Color 9 is the color that the active deal uses. So you can see I got OBS running in workspace number 3 over there. It's red, so that's the color rust red. And I changed it to that because I didn't think that it had enough contrasting to it the way it's built into it. I changed the color to rust red for that, so it'd be more obvious when I had some stuck in the otherwise green is the standard color. So I changed that. I think that's workspace. That's color 5. Changes all these to green that you see across there. And yeah, where I found that out was down here. Right there. This is where it goes the group box for the list of 1 through 0 over there. And you had right there active color 9. Inactive means 5. That means that it's basically your green color. Everything that's not active, doesn't have anything going on, is green. Whereas if there's something sitting there, it's red. It's active, it's red. It's got something cooking in it. Whereas your standard colors for foreground and background under whatever one you're on, or space you go to that you're actually in right now, is colored with color 2, which is kind of purple bluish type color there. Kind of a blue color, I guess. So there you go. That's how I figure that part out. These are widgets. And yeah, I was gonna get a memory Arco battery. You have that. Of course, this doesn't have a battery, so I don't need that. But if you needed it, you go up there and up to the top. And import off battery. I don't need an import off battery now, since this is a desktop, doesn't have a battery. So I can comment that part out. However, I do want to have the widget for memory in here. CPU graph. Now you do that, like I wanted this widget here. To do my CPU stuff. And just put the speech sensitive. Okay, it should be CPU there now. Yeah. If I wanted to do this one too, which is memory thing. That there puts a little graphic in there, and you'll see in a minute. Puts the actual memory widget in there. And that's a calendar which I've already had in there, as you see up there at the top. Let's see, if you go down here, that's where you enter your dates. How you're going to format your dates. Which I had to do to format my time and date how I like it, which is month, day, and year. So year, month, day, which is default, and then the PM, add the PM on the end and changes. You gotta change H to I, capital I, on your time there, and you gotta put it on the end, capital P, %P, make it PM. So we'll save that. And anyway, that's your bars, and it initiates it, puts on screens. You only got one screen on this computer connected to, so it doesn't really have an effect doing screens. So you can put it on two screens if you have different ones. You can put different widget bars on top of each screen if you wanted to. On both or one or neither, I guess, or whatever you want. However you want to do it. And then mouse configuration. It basically allows you in the floating managers situation to drag your windows around. I figured this out right. Basically what it means is when you go to a certain workspace they have these things attached to it, then it opens up those programs in that workspace automatically when you go to it. So either that or those are programs you can run in that space. I don't know which way it goes, but I haven't tried it, and I don't have any interest in trying it personally because I want more control over. I want to run any program in any workspace I want. So I don't want to automatically open programs when I go to workspace like that. Just my preference, so you may have a different preference. So that's how you set it. Start your auto start programs automatically. Mouse follow mouse focus equals true by default. And yes, that's why you saw whenever I had like I set it over and I wanted to move my mouse. See? And focus follows mouse around. So whatever I have mouse on. And then mod Q. Here's where you can enter in floating names as well. the nitrogen floats, decalculator, all these are float. Now I have to find out exactly what it says in the title bar or class for it, but let's just assume for a moment that I'm interested to see if this works or not. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm not sure if that's actually the I got all my T's and I's crossed out of there. Okay. So there's your file. We're almost in this puppy. Okay, now we're gonna see if how it works. See what crashes on this guy when we do this. Ready? It's Mod Shift R restarts it. Ta-da! Didn't crash, yay. Instead we have our full thing up here. We added this in on the bar. We had our memory thing here. Okay, we also set our PAP control to be floating. Let's see if it happens or not. Nope, it went to full screen. It might be floating, I don't know. Let's see. If it's floating, I think. Yes, it is floating. I just remember the size it was the first time. Anyway, I can probably resize the window somehow, so yeah, it's floating. That worked, yay. So that's how I got that installed. We went through there, changed a few things. And I really like Qtile because it's convenient. It has things set up. I have the monolith tall master stack layout, which I like a lot. It's a cool system. You can do whatever you want. You make the bar whatever you want, that kind of thing. It's highly configurable. Perfect. So that's Qtile, and we'll go back to have a chat about it. So that was my Manjaro edition of Qtile. Actually, I disabled the conky on it. Now, interesting thing, it came up with its own Manjaro style conky on it when I put the configuration files over there, booted up into Qtile. I guess it has its own Manjaro conky. I disabled the conky because I didn't really want all that words over there. It kind of got in the way of everything to me, and I really didn't need it, so it's all duplicate information where I could put up my bar up there. So yeah, so what I think of it, I liked it a lot. I can do my mono tall. I can do other things like you saw, all the different configure layouts it has in it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm going to keep it on this writing computer over here for a while. See how it goes. And operate almost exclusively off Qtile, although I could go back to Type 3 on it if I had to. I got both those window managers on there. But I'm going to stick with Qtile for a while and let it go. May stick Qtile forever on it for all I know. So there's the story. Yeah, so next time I think I'm going to do Mate, Manjaro Mate. Stay tuned for that one. And also, if you like this video, click the like button, appreciate it. Click the subscribe button if you want to. Just more videos from me. Want to make sure you don't miss any, hit the notification bell. If you want to support the channel, donation link is down in the bottom. And I'll mention your name on air. So the next time, may the Linux Force be with you. Bye.